for the Western Conference. They're really good. So they got to get all up in their stuff in order to keep them dudes from going off. But getting all up in their stuff is hard.
Yes. All right, let's talk about the next series.
Handles.
everywhere. Solid. All right, let's move forward to the next series. We're going to talk about the Houston Rockets and the Los Angeles Clippers. But first of all, let's talk about that game 7 last night before we go into anything between these teams who they played before and everything like that. But
I think I tweeted last night, I second this game and just because of who it was, to the Ray Allen three-pointer game in the finals, just because it was a finals game and it decided a lot of stuff. I liken this game to that game. It's a close 1-2 for me in games that I witnessed. And, oh, my Lord, have mercy.
Now,
I was tired from watching the game. I was like, oh, he walked. Oh, that's a foul? Oh, look at them cut free throws by Duncan. Oh, he made a shot off a hamstring. It was so good.
Yeah, that game was by far amazing, and we were watching the fight, and I was like, swinging over. I was like, no, we got to watch the rest of this game, guys. I know no
watching the prelim fights of who we don't care.
I was like, put it in. There's
half of us don't care about the other one.
Exactly. It was the arena was half packed anyways. MGM Grand was not even packed. So
Charles and Reggie were still drinking.
Which we'll talk about that later too. Oh my god! But that game was amazing.
Charles, I love you, Charles. Cheryl, get off me. I'm Reggie.
Cheryl, get off me. Oh. But that game.
Get off me, Cheryl.
That game to me, man, it shows me that. To me, man, this game was so great that it was so unfair that one of these teams had to go away in the first round. And this is what
somebody said. Can we take the loser of this series, put them up against the winner of the Eastern Conference, and they can. It's like to go to the finals.
It's like here you got a chance to redeem yourself from the Eastern Conference team. But this game was just all around great. You got Chris Paul, who's just fantastic, man. You know, everybody is talking about Curry, and rightfully so. But I know people didn't forget about CP3. It's just
the guy who had his coming out party though in this series was Blake Griffin.
Yes,
he had his coming out party, a triple-double last night, and he averaged 8 assists. In this thing, along with his points and his rebound, but he had his coming out party in this series.
He's hitting free throws too lately.
Yeah,
I know. I was like
one guy that was.
Yeah, DeAndre Jordan. He's missing the side of the
which, if you watch the end of that game, you could tell you had to keep him out because of his free throw shooting. But they were getting killed on the glass. That was the reason San Antonio was able to keep it close, is because. When Jordan can't shoot free throws, you can't have him on the court.
Right.
When you can't have him on the court, you can't get the rebounds. When you don't get rebounds, you give up all these second chance points. I think in the last quarter, San Antonio had 10 offensive rebounds in the fourth quarter, just because DeAndre Jordan couldn't be in the game. Big man, you got to work on your free throws.
Yeah,
you have to work on it because you can't do that. You can't be that much of a liability on your team in one specific area that you're not on the floor and you're giving it up on that other end of the floor. It's just bad mojo.
It is.
Bad juju.
And after that stat, I think I saw it was 14 second chance points that the Spurs had.
Yeah, because they had the 10 offensive rebounds just in the fourth quarter. Just in the fourth quarter. I was counting. I'm like, 1, 2. They had 3 on one move. I'm like, oh my God.
Yeah, this game was just great. It was back and forth. I don't think the lead was no bigger than 5.
No, it was. No. There was the biggest lead was 8.
About 8.
Yeah, the Clippers had them by 8, and then it went away really, really fast. But another guy that got me in this one was Danny Green, and him playing defense, ridiculous, blocking everybody's shots from behind, from in front, still. I was like, where did he cut? I was like, God. It was crazy to watch him play defense. There was a reason he stayed in the ball game, and that was the reason.
Right.
Kawhi Leonard struggled. Like, he struggled all series. If you're the best player on your team, You ain't supposed to struggle like that. And for him to be considered the best player, this is what I said last year. I was like, you can't consider him when he has 1 or 2 games like he did in the finals. He only had 2 good games in the finals. The rest of the time, he was mediocre, and the rest of the team was doing it. But you can't be considered the best player on your team when you disappear, when they need you the most.
Exactly, and this is going to
That's why I tried to tell people last year, no, Kawhi is going to be the face. No.
That's why I'm like, this is going to be a new face of the franchise.
And he struggles.
And he's struggling. Yes, we know he's a magnificent defensive player. He done improved immensely, but this is the moment you need to show up because Duncan Parker and Ginobili's not going to be around much longer.
Yeah, you got to score. Got to become. If you want to become that guy, you have to be that guy everywhere.
Right. And
he is not that guy everywhere.
Right.
Danny Green was playing better defense than he was last night.
And Danny Green's a free agent. So
Danny Green was throwing people. JJ Redick went to shoot a 3. Danny Green's just like, nope. I'm like, man.
He's a free agent, man. Danny Green's a free agent, so I don't see him being back in the Spurs. I think he's going to go for the big payday.
And somebody's going to give him some money.
Yeah. He deserves
They called him, what is Chris Webber calling him last night? The bow-legged assassin.
The bow-legged assassin?
He said bow-legged, pigeon-toed, whatever you want to call him.
Oh, Lord.
Oh, man.
That's too funny. All right, so, I mean, is it... I don't think people have really forgotten about CP3. I mean, it's just...
Oh, no, they haven't forgot about him, but when Blake finally... They finally got over a hump. Blake finally was like, now I'm a star in the playoffs. Now he's finally getting to where people like me who was like, well, Blake Griffin's just a one-hit wonder, and he only does one thing, and that's it.
Yeah.
Now he's starting to develop everything. Now he's starting to get people like me to come around on it.
Mm-hmm.
That, hey, your game is finally evolving into what you need it to become.
Yeah.
So now he's finally getting that attention, so people are drawing to him because he's getting better and better and better. When Chris Paul has been consistent throughout his whole entire career at doing what he was doing. But last night, that was one of the most, I don't know how bad his hamstring was. I know they say it might be bad enough to keep him out of game 1. But for him to come back and play the way he did, all one-legged guy,
mm-hmm.
it was amazing. It was pretty fun to watch him. Because he was draining threes. When's the last time you seen Chris Paul make that many threes?
Exactly.
I think he did drag his hamstring on one. Drug it a little bit too much. But,
yeah, I'm sitting there and I'm like, man, like I don't think everybody has forgotten about him. It's just these other players are starting to take off, and you got these players that really are doing pretty well. But CP3 is one of those guys you just got to respect, man. The dude is a competitor. He, like you said, he had a hamstring. And everybody was criticizing him for crying. I think he was crying, like you said.
Crying because his damn leg hurt.
He was in pain, man. Like, it wasn't crying because he was emotional.
You try running on that shit after
right. You know, and it was just like, man, I won a game.
Stuff.
Won a game.
Stuff, not.
Helped won a game on a bad hamstring against a very, very great team in the San Antonio Spurs. I mean, this team had a tough draw against the Spurs. And you know, Spurs were coming on like they used to do at the end of the season. They got hot in March. They lost like number 2 games in March, and then they won that April rolling, and then they slipped a little bit and got down to the 6th seed. So
I also think a lot of it has to do with time and the amount of basketball that they played is starting to catch up with them as well.
Yeah.
Kind of like how it caught up on the Heat. 4 years in a row, you go to the finals. You played almost a year and a half or more of basketball. Mm-hmm. When you go to the playoffs every year. Playing more and more, so you're playing years and years and years. What? How many years has Tim Duncan been in the league?
I want to say 19 years. It's about because he's 39.
So 15 or 16.
About
years.
15, yeah, because he's 39. So
15 or 16 just regular season.
Yeah.
You got to take on how many times has he been to the finals? How many times has he been to the playoffs in his career?
Every year.
Add those games, so you're talking probably. He's probably played about 18, 19 seasons
exactly
worth of basketball. It all catches up on you eventually. And I just think the grind starts to get to you after a while. That's why some of these younger teams are in the spots they're in now, is because the older teams and the teams that have been to the playoffs a bunch, the grind is starting to take effect on them.
Yeah. And with that is I saw a lot of tweets from pro basketball player telling Tim Duncan one more year because he looked like one of them guys. I mean, I know his age is catching up to him.
Well, he looks like he's 12 still.
And he
looks like a big-ass 12.
But the guy had like 20-some points last night still, and the guy's pushing 39. I mean, you're watching greatness at this age, man.
A lot more than that, bro.
It was impressive. I mean, it's impressive for him to do this year in and year out, and a testament to Popovich for keeping these players, trying to keep them refreshed because they're just getting older.
They
man.
played a lot, and they played a lot of basketball.
Yes.
A lot of basketball. They may sit out regular season games, but they don't sit out postseason games.
And I knew when I saw this series, I was like, this is gonna go 7. I just felt it was gonna go 7. And
even though you didn't hear us say it, we did say it.
We did say. And I had the Spurs win this series because I respect the Spurs enough to, they've been in this before, and I thought they got past, but I just gotta give credit to the Clippers, man, because Chris Paul is one of those guys. He's yet to been to a conference championship. Is it fair to put that pressure on him?
No. Well, no, because you gotta think he's been different places and different spots, and he had a lot go on with the trade of the Lakers not going through, and then him sticking in New Orleans, and so it's not fair to put the pressure on him. But now he has that team that you're going to think is going to make it there. Yeah. It wasn't fair to put the pressure on him because he really didn't have nobody stepping up. Now he's got people stepping up. So now the pressure is actually on the Clippers as a whole, not just him to make it to the conference final. Because he showed last night, he went on a hurt hamstring and took his team to the next round. So you can't put pressure on a guy who come in and plays like that and how tough he was last night.
Gotcha. All right, let's talk about the little Rondo situation. I know I had this written up.
Little Rondo.
Rondo, a.k.a. as the fan.
Gondo.
The apparent dislike between him and Rick Carlisle is been built up, and it was asked in the interview, he said, do you think he would play for Dallas again? And he said, no, I don't. In 43 games, Rondo had 9 points per game, 6 assists, 4 rebounds, and 45% shooting. And rumors were swirling that he was going to head to the Lakers after the season was going to end and sign a mass deal to play with Kobe and the Lakers. So, thoughts on Rondo and his whole deal? Because, listen, I thought when they made this trade, personally, because I picked Dallas, I'm like, oh, this made my pick look so much better. But you know what? Let me sign a paper, because they were just paper chancing it to me.
Here's the funny part about Rondo. When was Rondo really, really good?
Back when he had
exactly. I told people then, you put Rondo on his own, he's not going to be very good. He's injury prone. He can't shoot. He cannot shoot at all whatsoever. He has no jump shot. You can't have that kind of guard and not have some type of shot.
Shot 50% from the free throw line, I believe.
Exactly. You can't do that. You can't. That has the makeup of no person. Is he worth a max deal? Hell no, he's not worth a max deal. Was he only any good when he had all those other guys around him to take the pressure off of him? Yes. Now that when he has to do it on his own, can he do it? No. He goes and hurts himself in the shower. He goes and gets hurt doing something else. Gets hurt doing that. Get hurt doing that. He can't do it on his own because he's not that very good of a ball player. He can't shoot. He really, when you put him on another team to where guys went there, he really didn't become that guy. He didn't become that facilitator like everybody thought he was going to do when he went to Dallas. Yeah. When you got guys that can shoot like Dirk and Chandler, and you have a big man,
Ellis,
you're supposed to be able to distribute the ball to those guys, and he didn't. Instead, he wanted to whine, complain, bitch, and moan with the coach just because he didn't want to be there and he wants to go to L.A. Well, have fun going to L.A. and playing with Swaggy P and broke down Kobe. And have fun doing all that because you're going to do the same crap there that you did everywhere else. You're not going to have the big three anymore. That was the reason you looked good. Was because you had Garnett knocking down everything, Pierce knocking down everything, and we have an incoming call from Jeebus.
We'll go ahead and keep talking. Hold on, John. We'll go ahead and keep
talking. All right.
But yeah, I just don't think he's that good. I think he's way overrated for what he is.
Yeah. I look at this here, and Rondo, to me, is going to...
He's a damn little diva.
Yeah, it's too much of a show for this guy. And I'm thinking, Ray John Rondo to me is